I'm Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. How are we all today, wherever you are in the world? You know, the usual spiel. I just thought we all deserved a little bit of sunshine and a little bit of Australian landscape. And also I've got some new, I'll just walk here so you can see the river in the background. I've got some new recording equipment, new selfie stick, bit of this and a bit of that, trying to get set up after we come out of lockdown here in Australia, so that we can do a little bit of that esoteric travelling that I have been talking about. So I'm here today. We're allowed out for an hour, and I'm here today with a friend, good friend, just having a spot of lunch, and then she's getting a little bit of exercise. So as you can see, I'll just give you a bit of a panorama here. This is one. We've got two local rivers in this area, but this is one of the rivers. I'm not sure what that bush is behind us. It's a wattle, actually. My friend just suggested to me. It's actually a wattle tree, or one form of wattle. Australian wattles are just glorious in spring, and also the ornamental trees, which you can see in the background, those blossoms there. But Australian wattle is pretty iconic. I've always had wattle trees wherever I go because I just love the yellow. Just love the colour. And so we're getting a lot of colour now that we're moving into spring. So, yeah, I just wanted to take you on this little bit of a walk with me and just to say hi and remind everybody that yeah, as tough as things are, we do need to be taking care of ourselves and, you know, always doing that self-nurturing. Okay, so here's the wattle up close. You can see those kind of soft brush-like yellow petals. Yeah, you can imagine that heavy laden tree, just how pretty it is. Okay, a little bit more on Australia's flora and fauna. I just want to zoom in here on the white cockatoos. They are feasting on seeds, grass seeds and the like, along a playing field which is across the road from this waterway. And of course you can see the wattle there as well, the yellow. And there's a gum there. So you can see why I'm attracted to the yellow of the wattle. It's just gorgeous. And when you get those heavy laden blooms on the branches, it can just drip right down and you've just got this sea of yellow colour. So you can hear the cockatoos and a train in the background as well. I've always liked cockatoos. I had a cockatoo growing up as a pet. And lived for decades, that bird. Yeah, we have fond memories of the cockatoo, who could also, I guess, you know, it's a bit ferocious if it bit you. So we loved it, but we were also pretty scared of it. Of course, it was a wild bird as well, and we couldn't release it back into the wild because it had been domesticated. But there you go, the cockatoos and the wattle. All right, not strictly native, but you can see a couple of horses grazing in a paddock by the railway line. The region that I live in was the first inland rail centre when my state was being, well, I have to say colonised from an Indigenous perspective, invaded. But yes, this was the first inland railway, and of course we still maintain a reasonable railway presence. In fact, in a lot of ways we're known as a railway town. But the horses seem unperturbed by everything, and so they should. Okay, and now for the tarot card reading. Many of you have been worried about the women in Texas, of course, with the abortion Roe versus Wade, effectively the Supreme Court, in not doing anything, has allowed Texas to bring in a very draconian, terrible anti-abortion law. So I know that the leader of Congress, Nancy Pelosi in the US, has passed or will be passing, because they have the majority there, will be passing, codifying Roe versus Wade. Of course, that is going to be difficult to get through the Senate. And we also have the DOJ and the President Biden going to be intervening as well. And there will be people that will be taking action through the Supreme Court. How many times can they ignore this? So I just want to say, are there going to be any breakthroughs to protect or protect Roe versus Wade and allow women? The Texas law doesn't even allow a woman to have an abortion if they've been raped or in the circumstance of incest. So is there any way this is going to be overturned? Is Roe versus Wade going to be protected? So we've got the Two of Wands. This always indicates patience. It always indicates a plan that comes to fruition in time. So it is a crossroads time. Twos are all about having to make decisions. I also want to bring to mind that young people are fighting back here. They have organised activism and protests through literally sabotaging the Texas websites, and TikTok again is playing a huge role in that. So the young people have the energy and they have the will to fight, and so we shouldn't assume that this is going to be on us, and that we're tired from fighting for basic democratic rights against authoritarian type of decisions. We ought to remember that the young people are going to play a part in this. So this is indicating patience. And so just cool your heels a little bit, because things are going to occur. And remember also that our reactions at the moment, the Nine of Wands, it's like we're kind of a bit embattled. And we do need to put certain barriers up. I know that everybody is feeling it. I know that I'm feeling it. And so, don't let yourself go down that rabbit hole where you just go, I can't function with this anymore. Understand that we're all pretty battle weary. Now it's pretty windy here, so I'm just going to show you what's on the bottom of the pack. Endings and beginnings. Of course, I'm hoping that Australia won't follow suit. We've got some pretty, as a law goes, the Texas law is in the extreme, and it's meant and it's designed. There's lying. There's really letting people down. It's designed to do that because they're not interested in young, perhaps Democratic voters staying in Texas. And it's been planned for a long time. And so your SCOTUS, your Supreme Court, I think my mind goes back to another state's rights that they upheld. It's like this has been coming for some time, and it is a betrayal of what is constitutional rights and what is long settled law, and each of those new SCOTUSes said that Roe versus Wade was settled law, yet they're not going to defend that settled law. So we have the Sun as the foundation of the reading. That's a great card. That's a yes card. So this keeps coming up along with the Nine of Wands. So I just want to leave that there for you. In the past, we have the Magician. Magician card is manifestation. Magician card has been popping up a lot lately. I think it goes two ways. It can, the Magician reversed or negatively posited can be manipulation. The trickster almost. But I do think that this has been calculated and planned by the states for some time. In the sky, we've got the Hanged Man, suspension, so nothing moving forward, but also having to look at something differently. And in the immediate future, we've got the anxiety that everybody is feeling. I understand that. And we've got the High Priestess. This is the Divine Feminine card. Most anxiety is being felt very, very acutely by young women. And we've got the Queen of Cups here, nurturing. We've got revelations. That's in the environment around that we're waiting for something to come forward to break this kind of impasse. What is the plan? The hopes and fears again, you know, do we have to fight? Do we have to fight yet again for our rights? However, Eight of Pentacles. This is referring to someone with a great deal of skill doing the work for us. So don't think that you have to do that work. The DOJ may very well take this all the way back to the Supreme Court. We have the Moon, things coming to the surface, having to see the shadow side, and we've got the Lovers. So this is very much a political strategy on the behalf of the Republicans, designed, of course, to get them votes amongst their base and amongst the evangelicals. So don't get too downhearted. There is some kind of plan coming through that will come to fruition in time. So just to put a quick yes, no type of questions. Will the SCOTUS have to hear this, revisit this again? Will the SCOTUS have to revisit this again? King of Swords talks about an investigation, talks about a lawyer, talks about a strategy and a plan. And we've got the Fool, clarifying that is the Fool. So they're yes cards. Something still in the planning stage. Yeah, Five of Pentacles. People being locked out. The consequences of this will be quite apparent. And we've got a lot of, I don't know. This is also sadness. You know, we've lost, and that kind of reflects the mood at the moment. But SCOTUS, here we've got the Queen of Cups. I think at the end of the day, women have a win on this. We just have to be patient on that. I think it's going to go back to the Supreme Court. I think whatever your president does will mean that it will go back to the Supreme Court. Let's have a look at whether or not the Senate will pass this. I'm less enthusiastic about that option. Will the Senate vote to codify? Yes, no, please, Spirit. Will the Senate vote to codify Roe versus Wade? Will the Senate vote to codify Roe versus Wade? Six of Wands. We've got a victory here. We've got the High Priestess, though, as the challenge. I think part of the planning has been those Republican senators knowing that this was coming, but we've got Biden here. So I feel that the solution and Trump, need to be any clearer than that. This is a political battle that has been planned. I think from these cards, the solution will come through whatever the President and the DOJ do. I think it's going to go back to the Supreme Court. That's my feeling. But this has certainly been planned for some time. What else do we need to ask? How will voters, the majority of voters, react to this in Texas? Does this contribute in any way to a change of government? Is this one of the the issues that contribute to a change of government in Texas, mobilising young voters of all persuasions, perhaps? So does this contribute or impact on the Republican governor of Texas's ability to hold power? It'll be interesting to see what comes up. So we've got a surprise coming through here. Ah, yes. Remember in my readings, I thought that a woman will challenge him and you will get in Texas a new woman governor. That's what I'm feeling. And we've got the Democratic Party here, signature all over. And we've got the Hierophant government. Yeah, so this does actually, remember there's a divine flow to everything. This, biggest lessons are learned in adversity. But this, I think, contributes to the loss of Texas for the Republicans, and I do see a female Democrat governor or candidate, very strong candidate coming up in the future. So be patient, let things unfold. Remember that the members of Congress and the Democratic Party president and the Democratic Party-led Department of Justice have all got moves on the chessboard that they can make. So this is my tarot reading brought to you at this beautiful waterway with blossoms in the background, and have a great weekend, everybody. I will be releasing tarot scopes for the month of, what month is it, September? I'll be releasing that shortly over the weekend, so stay tuned for that. And I'll be back next week. I'm going to try and do some remote viewing, but more on that later. I'll be back again soon with another reading. Thanks for tuning in.